Today, we're talking about lifestyle creep, the quiet reason your income goes up, but your progress doesn't. Have you ever looked at your income compared to 5 or even 3 years ago and thought to yourself, why does my money feel stretched even thinner than it did when I was making way less? You're making more money, you have a system, you're budgeting, or at least trying to, and saving and investing when you can. So what's the issue? Well, the reason can be two things: inflation, lifestyle creep, or a combination of both. Today we're talking about lifestyle creep. And the reason it's dangerous isn't because it's dramatic, it's because it's subtle. I'm Brianne, I'm a CPA, and we're optimizing our money in real time. Not from scratch, but from a place of structure. Lifestyle creep isn't about buying a yacht. And it's not about reckless spending, although that can play a factor. It's about gradual upgrades. For example, you move into a slightly nicer apartment. You upgrade your car payments. You start flying direct instead of with connections. You go from $60 dinners to $120 dinners. You add one more subscription. You start grocery shopping without checking price tags. None of these feel extreme because they're not. And individually, they make sense because you should be able to upgrade your life as your income grows. But collectively, they quietly absorb your raises. And because your income increased at the same time as all these upgrades, it doesn't feel irresponsible because technically you have the money. This is where it gets a little tricky because lifestyle creep is sometimes justified. You finished school, you got the job, you got promoted, you're more established. So naturally, you want your life to reflect that. And that's not wrong. The problem isn't upgrading your life. The problem is upgrading your expenses at the same pace, or sometimes even faster, than your income growth. If every raise gets spent, you're still living paycheck to paycheck, just at a higher level. This is why people say, I make more money, but I don't feel ahead. That gap, that's lifestyle creep. What happened is your fixed expenses increased, your baseline expectations increased, and your definition of normal shifted. So now that car payment feels normal, the nicer apartment feels normal, the $200 grocery bill for one trip feels normal. And because it's normal, you stop questioning it. That's why it's quiet, because there's no red flag moment. There's no financial crisis. There's just no momentum. So how do we fix this without shaming ourselves or going back to being broke? Because we're not trying to downgrade your life, we're trying to optimize it. Here's the shift. First, you need to separate upgrades from growth. Before upgrading your life, ask yourself, is this coming from surplus or from my raise? If you receive a raise and it comes out to being an extra $500 a month, plan intentionally for what you're going to do with that money before it even hits your account. For example, you can do a split. Let's say $250 goes to investing, $150 goes to sinking funds, and $100 goes to lifestyle upgrades. That way, you've upgraded multiple parts of your finances. You've considered future you by investing and setting aside money in your sinking funds, and current you by still allocating money for lifestyle upgrades. Next, you need to lock in wealth before you upgrade your lifestyle. Yes, your raise is technically extra money, but once you've decided what goes where, you need to now automate what matters. So this looks like increasing your savings and investing rates or making additional debt payments. Then live on what's left, not the other way around. Finally, you have to audit your new normal. Ask yourself, if I had to cut $500 right now, where would it come from? If you don't know, that's information, because lifestyle creep hides in autopilot spending. Now, I want to make sure that I say there's nothing wrong with enjoying your money. In fact, I am CEO of the I Work Too Hard Not to Enjoy My Money Club. We're not optimizing to be miserable. We're optimizing so your income increases actually change your life. Because when income grows and assets don't, you feel busy, you feel stretched, and you feel confused. But when income grows and investments grow, that's when you start feeling ahead. That's when your net worth moves, and that's when money stress decreases. Lifestyle creep is quiet. That's why it's dangerous. It doesn't feel irresponsible, it feels earned. But if your income has increased and your financial position hasn't, that's not a discipline problem. That's an optimization problem. And next week, we're talking about how to use your budget to actually make better decisions, not just for tracking purposes. If this video made you reflect a little bit, make sure you like and subscribe because we're optimizing our money in real time over here.